Hello, I'm Sebastian. Welcome to 9 Trees podcast. Today, I will summarize and review the book. Life in the Fasting Lane is a practical guide to making intermittent fasting sustainable for everyday life, written by Dr. Jason Fung, a physician known for popularizing fasting as a tool for weight and metabolic health. Rather than treating fasting as a short-term diet, the book frames it as a flexible lifestyle that can be adapted to different schedules, food preferences, and health goals. It focuses on why fasting can work, how hormones like insulin influence fat storage, and how structured periods without food may help many people reduce calorie intake without constant restriction. The book also addresses common concerns such as hunger, energy, social situations, and plateaus, aiming to replace fear and confusion with clear routines and troubleshooting. Readers can expect a mix of straightforward physiology, coaching-style guidance, and real-world strategies designed to help them implement fasting patterns safely, consistently, and with less stress than traditional dieting approaches. I will give you key takeaways from this book. Firstly, intermittent fasting as a lifestyle, not a temporary diet. A central idea of the book is that intermittent fasting works best when it is treated as a repeatable way of living rather than a short burst of restriction. The authors emphasize flexibility, encouraging readers to choose a fasting schedule that fits work hours, family routines, cultural meals, and personal hunger patterns. This approach reframes success away from perfect adherence and toward consistency over time. Instead of moralizing food choices, fasting becomes a tool for structuring eating windows and reducing constant snacking, which can make overall intake easier to manage. The lifestyle framing also helps readers navigate real life, travel, holidays, late dinners, and changing stress levels. By offering options such as time-restricted eating on some days and longer fasts on others, the method can be adjusted without abandoning the plan. The book also argues that sustainability improves when people understand what to expect during adaptation, including hunger waves and shifting appetite cues. This topic sets the tone. Intermittent fasting is presented as a skill that strengthens with practice and can be maintained without counting every calorie or following a rigid menu. Secondly, the metabolic logic, insulin, fuel switching, and fat loss. The book explains intermittent fasting through a metabolic lens, focusing on how the body stores and accesses energy. A major emphasis is placed on insulin and its relationship to fat storage, arguing that frequent eating can keep insulin elevated and make it harder for the body to draw on stored fat. During fasting periods, insulin typically falls and the body transitions from using incoming dietary energy to using stored energy, a process often described as fuel switching. This framework is used to explain why some people find fasting easier than constant calorie restriction, appetite may diminish after adaptation, and the body can access fat stores more readily between meals. The discussion also links fasting to broader metabolic health, including markers associated with insulin resistance. While individual results vary and medical conditions matter, the book presents fasting as a strategy that may improve metabolic flexibility. It encourages readers to think beyond simple calories in and calories out and to consider timing, hormonal responses, and eating frequency. The goal is to provide a clear rationale for why fasting can produce weight loss and health improvements for many people when practiced consistently. Thirdly, choosing a fasting schedule and building a repeatable routine. Another important topic is the practical selection of fasting protocols and how to turn them into a routine. The book commonly discusses popular structures such as 16-8, 18-6, 24 alternate day approaches, and occasional 24-hour fasts, positioning them as tools rather than rules. Provision tea of 4-hour fasts, positioning them as tools rather than rules. Readers are guided to start with a manageable pattern, evaluate results, and then adjust duration or frequency based on progress and lifestyle demands. Routine building includes planning the eating window, handling mornings or evenings when hunger tends to spike, and deciding how to manage exercise, work meetings, and family meals. The authors also highlight the importance of what happens when you do eat, prioritizing nutrient-dense meals and adequate protein to support satiety and preserve lean mass. They aim to reduce common beginner errors like compensatory overeating or choosing highly processed foods that can trigger cravings. A repeatable routine also includes recovery after special occasions, treating off-plan days as normal rather than as failure. This topic is ultimately about making fasting operational, with simple structures that can be followed week after week. Fourthly, managing hunger, cravings, and the psychology of eating less often. The book spends significant attention on the lived experience of fasting, especially the psychological and behavioral side. Hunger is framed as a wave that rises and falls rather than an emergency that must be addressed immediately. By understanding this pattern, readers can practice writing out short periods of discomfort and distinguish habit-driven cravings from true need. The book also addresses the role of stress, sleep, and emotions in appetite. acknowledging that fasting can feel harder when life is chaotic. Strategies typically include staying hydrated, using black coffee or plain tea if tolerated, keeping busy during usual snack times, and ensuring meals are satisfying enough to reduce later cravings. Social pressure is another recurring issue. Lunch meetings, family dinners, and celebrations can create anxiety about timing. The authors encourage flexible scheduling, such as moving the eating window to match important events rather than forcing isolation. They also discuss mindset shifts that make adherence easier, including separating the act of eating from constant entertainment or comfort. By combining practical tools with behavior change principles, this topic helps readers maintain fasting without feeling deprived or socially disconnected. Lastly, safety, troubleshooting, and long-term health considerations. A final major theme is how to fast responsibly and how to troubleshoot common problems. The book emphasizes that fasting is not one-size-fits-all, and it highlights situations where medical guidance is important, especially for people taking glucose, lowering medications, or managing chronic conditions. It addresses frequent obstacles such as plateaus, fatigue, headaches, constipation, sleep disruption, and persistent overeating during the eating window. Troubleshooting often involves adjusting fasting length, improving meal quality, ensuring adequate electrolytes and hydration, and focusing on consistent sleep and stress management. The authors also discuss the risk of turning fasting into an overly punitive practice, encouraging readers to maintain a healthy relationship with food and to avoid extremes that backfire. For long-term success, they suggest treating fasting as a scalable tool, increase intensity when needed, then return to a maintenance pattern once goals are met. This topic broadens the book beyond weight loss into overall well-being by linking sustainable habits to metabolic health markers, energy levels, and daily functioning. The emphasis on safety and adaptability helps readers approach fasting as a long-term strategy rather than a risky experiment. In conclusion, this book is best suited for adults who are interested in intermittent fasting for weight management, metabolic health, or simplifying eating, especially readers who are tired of constant calorie counting and frequent snacking. It can also appeal to people who want a structured plan but still need flexibility for work, family life, travel, and social events. The main benefit is that it provides a clear framework for using time, not complicated meal rules, to reduce overeating and improve consistency. By explaining the basic physiology behind fasting and pairing it with practical routines, the book can help readers feel more confident, reduce anxiety about hunger, and build habits that last beyond a short diet cycle. Compared to many similar fasting books, it stands out for its lifestyle emphasis and its focus on troubleshooting real obstacles, not just promoting a single ideal protocol. Readers get multiple scheduling options, behavior strategies, and guidance for adapting fasting over time, which can make the approach more sustainable and individualized. If you want an actionable, coherent plan for turning intermittent fasting into a repeatable routine, this book offers strong value for the money. If you would like to support Dr. Jason Fung, you can buy the book through the Amazon link I've provided in the podcast description. After reading the book, please let me know what you think and share your thoughts. See you around.